The respected Bhai Sahab, Brother Jagdishi, so hearty welcome to him.
Om Shanti, good forenoon and very happy, very special, very successful New Year. I reciprocate the feelings that were just expressed. I am happy to see you again after a long time. It's my pleasure. It's really a unique occasion. We will be entering a new year, 1999. Baba has said many things about this year. He has on the one hand said that you should not be scared, you should not be talking much about what will happen in the next year, what will not happen, whether it will happen or it will not happen. So instead of going into the details of what will be happening and what not will be happening, he has given us some guidelines, what we should be thinking about. Instead of this, whether or not, what or what not, he has asked to think positively, and he has given us some directions, what we should be doing. I would be referring specially to the last Avyaktavani which Baba gave. It is very special. Actually, Baba's every murli is very special. But this one, at the eve of New Year, people are considering 1999 or year 2000 as very significant. That there will be change of millennium, change of the century. What will happen? It is a question in many minds. People are discussing about the future, not only about their own future, but also about the world future. So we, who are the makers of the fortune and makers of the future in that respect, should also be thinking deeply about what is to be done, what ground we have already covered, and what is yet to be covered. And from this point of view, the last murli was very important, very significant. It seems there were just waves of thoughts, waves of directions. But this is a superficial view. If you just go into it deeper, you will find that there is an underlying current. There is a link between what Baba said from beginning to the end. All the points which he gave in that Avyaktavani are intimately connected. One automatically leads to another, another yet to another, and that one to our goal. So that makes the whole program for us for the next year. Baba began by asking and by saying that if he puts a question to the sisters and brothers who are present before him, or who listens to Baba's murli, whether they would like to become Suryavanshi or Chandravanshi, Baba said everyone definitely would say, we would like to become Suryavanshi. We have been seeing this. Even when Baba was in the Sakar form, and he would be asking sisters and brothers in the class whether they would like to become Suryavanshi. Those who want to become Suryavanshi, he asked them to raise hands. So the whole class raised their hands. We want to become Suryavanshi. Because Baba has explained to us that Chandravanshi, the moon dynasty, that shows the struggle is still on. It has not been, the final victory has not yet been won. Over Maya, we have not conquered Maya. So there is a battle going on still. We are warriors, so to say. We are not full-fledged Brahmins. We are Kshatriyas in that respect. If we say that we want to become Chandravanshi. So knowing this fully well, everyone would like to say, Baba, Baap Dada, we would like to become Suryavanshi. Okay, do you understand what you are saying? Think over it. What do you mean when you say that you will become Suryavanshi? What does it imply? What is the hidden meaning in it? Suryavanshi, of course, you know, they will come in the paradise. They will be in the golden age. They will have that super righteous Sato-Pradhan stage, so on and so forth. No problems, no worries, no anxieties, no fears, everything fine. Liberation in life, Jivan Mukti stage, so on and so forth. But, and this is a big but, how you will be attaining all this? How you will realize this wish, this desire, noble desire to become Suryavanshi? Baba said, one of the major differences between Suryavanshi and Chandravanshi, Sun dynasty and Moon dynasty, solar and lunar dynasties. The major difference is you have seen the moon in the sky from your childhood on, and you know that the moon waxes and wanes. Sometimes it is full, then not full. Certain degrees of it are visible. Only they are seen by our naked eyes. So, it is not always 16 degrees celestial, solar color. Its colors or celestial degrees change. But this does not happen in the case of the sun. Sun has constancy. It does not wax and wane. It is always full. Except when there is solar eclipse, of course. The rest part of the life of the sun is without any blemish, without any spot, without any kind of a waxing and waning on its part. So if you say that you want to become Suryavanshi, you want to be in the solar dynasty, it means that your stage, your spiritual stage should be stable. It should be constant. It should not sometimes be high, sometimes low, sometimes up and sometimes down. It should maintain the highest level and forever and forever. So if you want to say that you want to come in the solar dynasty, then you should understand this, that you actually mean that you will attain this stage. They say we have not only to desire, but we have also to deserve. So it is not that merely we have to desire to be in the solar dynasty, but we have to deserve for it. And how will we deserve? Understand the difference between the sun and the moon. And then you understand what is expected of you, what makes you deserving to have this noble desire fulfilled. But how to attain this stage? So therefore I said there is a link between what Baba gave in that murli. From point to point there is a connection. It is not that there is some missing link. There are full links, Baba explains. So how to have that stage? Because there are problems in our life, situations change. Some people deal with us very roughly. They are not nice to us. Sometimes we may be unhealthy and there may be problems of our health. Similarly, there could be other kinds of disturbances. some caused by the changing government laws, some ups and downs in our professional existence, in our business, some problem at our workplace, many kinds of things. One could make a very big list of them, each one for his own life, when there are very ticklish, very difficult problems. So, when actually one faces those things, odd situations, which one finds one cannot cope with, one finds one is weak, not able to withstand all those things, then how is it that we should maintain that stage? That is actually the question. There are questions, but this is the question. Question of all questions. Mother of all mothers. It is the mother question, so to say, among all the questions. Whatever we are studying, the central point, the central question is how to maintain the stability. The governments now are talking of economic stability, political stability, stability of law and order, stability so far as the observation of human rights are concerned, stability in the environment so that there is no further deterioration, many kinds of stability. Not knowing that all these kinds of instability are based on the instability of the mind. If certain things are shaky and those things are based on a particular thing, if that thing is shaky, they will naturally be shaky. So what we are supposed to have is, the first requisite is that we should have stability of the stage. How to have that? Baba has been giving this godly knowledge for so many years. Our elderly sisters got it from the very beginning. If you just put it in black and white in writing, they will become like volumes of an encyclopedia. One will not be able to study now in one's lifetime unless one has been studying it from the very beginning. So, what is the essence? So that by grasping the essence, we can also now attain that stage, a little more or less. If not 100% identical with or equal to those of the elderly sisters, then something near to it, so that we are satisfied. So what does Baba say? How to have that stage? He gives only one direction. So simple. You may not remember so many things. Our memory may be short. We may have some kind of amnesia. Some people have it, others just make excuses that they have it. When they appear in court and there are certain difficult questions, they can neither say yes nor no. So at that time they say, I have amnesia. I don't remember. You see. Though actually they are very well aware of what happened. They remember it, they know it. But those intelligent people who have a very sharp memory, in the face of that difficult situation, generally make the excuse, they have amnesia. They forgot about it. Really they don't remember. They say that. But in our case, whatever may be the problem, we may have really forgotten about it or not. At least one thing we can remember, which is not difficult, not very problematic. And that is, Baba says, follow Baba's footsteps. That's all. This is the summum bonum of knowledge. Sum and substance of knowledge. Follow Baba's footsteps. Now, Baba, when you say that we should follow Baba's footsteps, what exactly does it mean? A child can see the steps, footprints of his father, so he can just walk over them, follow it. But in this case, where we are talking something about abstract, something which is very subtle. What does it mean? Following Baba's footsteps. What are the footsteps? First of all, how many are the footsteps? Have we to walk miles and miles? Is it a long journey, small journey? To follow footsteps is not difficult, but to follow footsteps for a very, very long time, over a long ground, long journey, where there is no level ground and there are many topsy-turvy and disturbing factors. What is meant by following Baba's footsteps? So that is the question which naturally crops up in our mind. Now Baba gives the answer. Baba says, Mansa, Vacha and Karmana. In mind, speech and action, you follow. Follow Baba's footsteps means follow Baba in thoughts, in speech, in action. And at another stage in the murli he said, the intellect. Add to this the fourth one. These are the four footsteps. They are just repeated. It may be long or small, but you have just to follow these footsteps. Now what do you mean by following thoughts, speech, actions and intellect? What is that which is to be followed in thoughts? Baba said, give up negative thoughts, negative thinking and wasteful thinking. So this is following Baba's footsteps in thought, mansa, in mind, through mind. So don't have waste thoughts and negative thoughts. This is following one kind of footsteps of Baba. And which means no jealousy, no rivalry, no hatred, no thoughts of violence, no evil thoughts. This is what the negative thoughts are. If you just go into its details, all these are negative thoughts. Baba always had positive thoughts. You must also have positive thoughts. So this is one thing. Then what does it mean that we should follow Baba's speech? Baba in his speech. Baba says, Kam bolo, dheere bolo, meethe bolo. Speak less. Don't waste your energy. Spend minimum number of words. Be short and sweet. Be short and sweet. Speak less. Speak sweetly. And at a low pitch. Don't shout. It also means speak with humility. And if you want to add, speak friendly. Nowadays, all the consumer goods sold in the market have this on their labels. Environment friendly, development friendly, so on and so forth. So your speech should also be friendly. It should not antagonize people, make people your enemies, create bitterness, create problems for you and others. It should not cause disturbance. It should lead to peace, because you are the children of the world peacemaker. So, speak less, speak sweetly, speak friendly, and speak at a low pitch. This is following Baba in his speech. Vacha. In Hindi, they say follow Vacha, speech. Then what does Karmana mean? You should try to see whatever actions you do, what kind of actions they are. They should be for the benefaction of the whole world. Because you are the children of the world benefactor. So your actions should not be contrary to this. Whatever you do, it should have the goal of giving benefaction to the whole humankind. Not just to one community, one nation, one family, your own self. Don't be selfish. whatever you do, rise above all these limitations, these boundaries, man-made boundaries. There are geographical boundaries, and then people have made other boundaries. For example, in oceans, they have the boundaries, how far the ships of one country can enter into the waters of the other country. Then there is airspace, whether an aeroplane enters into the airspace of another country. So they are all man-made boundaries. The bird can fly. Now in many cases, birds from Russia come to India. When it is too cold there, certain kinds of birds from Russia, they come to certain parts of India. They have been coming for years and years. People can know them. But if they were to obtain a passport or a visa, no government will give them. You see, they are the limitations made by governments. This whole sky is for the birds. Wherever you want to go, you have the freedom. See, but man, ever since he is born, now someone said man was born free, but he finds himself in fetters. I don't actually agree with it, because with the birth everyone has fetters, karmic fetters, because everyone is born with some sanskaras, with past karmic accounts. So those shackles, those fetters are there. So no one is free. All are under the subjugation of the 5 major evils. So when we say that our actions should be according to Baba, we should be following Baba's footsteps, what in fact we mean is that our actions should be for the benefaction of the whole world. Therefore Baba has been saying, don't say, this is my center, that is your center. You see, some people said, what is the difference between golden age, silver age, copper age and iron age? Many kinds of differences. But he said, I will give you one difference. In golden age, everyone said to every other person, this is yours, mine is also yours. That was the spirit. The sign of golden age is, this is yours, mine is also yours. तेरा तो तेरा ही है, मेरा भी तेरा ही है. That was the spirit. You see. And in silver age, they said, you have yours, I have my own. You see. This is justice. So that the difference in the spirit took place. In the golden age, it was said, this is yours, mine is also yours. Then it was said, this is yours, but that is mine. I don't take yours, you don't take mine. This is law and order. This is justice. Okay. Then in copper age, they became greedy. See. They said, yours is yours, but if I have a part of yours, how does it matter? You see. And in iron age, they say, mine is mine, yours is also mine. You see. That makes the difference. That is the spirit of the iron age. So, Baba is the giver, the world giver. He gives to everyone. That should be our spirit. Golden age is golden age because that was the spirit. There was love. This is called love. In love, the persons who love, they sacrifice their things for the sake of others. Even the use of the word sacrifice is not proper. It is not sacrifice. They don't feel that they are sacrificing something. They think they feel happy if they give it to you, if it can be of some use to you. Where there is love, people say, can I be of some service to you? Will you tell me what can I do for you? It will be a great pleasure, a great honor, a great privilege. Please tell me, what should I do for you? I can even bring the moon for you, they will say. Who can bring the moon? You see. But this is what they will say, to any extent I can go, because I will be happy if you are happy. So that was the spirit. Our actions should therefore not be centered on the self, having selfish motive, or these limited concepts, these mental barriers, psychological barriers, these boundaries raised by us, your than mine, so on and so forth. Human rights, these are women rights, these are men rights. Children rights, these are children rights, these are elderly rights. You see. But no one is right. How can there be rights? If my actions are not right, how can I observe the human rights? You tell me. If my thinking is not right. Somebody said, this is the brother-in-law, that is the sister-in-law, this is the mother-in-law, that is the son-in-law. But where is the law? You see. There is no law, and there are so many laws, so many relations like that. Where is the law, he said. All these mother-in-law, father-in-law, daughter-in-law, son-in-law. He said, but where is the law? So human rights, all kinds of rights. But man is not right, you see. So how can there be rights? There are so many problems. And someone said there is no problem. Man is the only problem. See, because all these problems are created by man. So man is the only problem. Just as some educationist, Sir John Dewey of America said, you see, problem teacher, problem student, problem for parents, problem. Parents are problem, teachers are problem, students are problems, the school is the problem, even the education is problem. Because what is being taught is a problem. So what we are making is not human beings. If we are not making men, we are preparing only tiles of clay with broken legs. We cannot stand. What sort of world we are creating? See. So in order to get up from all these kinds of limitations and barriers, when we say that our actions should be in the footsteps of Baba, it means that our thought should be focused on this, whether the actions are for the benefaction of the whole humankind, without any distinction of religion, caste, nationality, so on and so forth, race, color, etc., etc. In etc., so many things are included. This word etc. includes the whole universe, etc. You see. What do you mean by etc.? Anything. When you are not naming anything, it is etc. You see. So when I say etc., etc., it means all these. Okay? So then I said about the intellect. What about the intellect? The main function of the intellect is to have self-control. Anyone who has not self-control, he is to that extent a mad person. You just observe the behavior of a person who has no control over himself. There is a streak or a little stream of madness, craziness in his mind. You see. Something wrong, they say some screw has gone loose in his head. You see. So the major function expected of the intellect is to control the vagrancy of the mind. The mind should be under control, you see. And mind will be under control if, as I said, there is positive thinking, no wasteful thoughts. But if at all there is some kind of a thing, even those persons who are, you see, the mind is very vagrant, like a vagabond. This was the question raised by Arjuna in the Gita. God, you are asking me to control my mind. You are asking me for something impossible. How can I control my mind? Mind cannot be controlled, you see. Take the case of a monkey who has drunk very heavily, a drunk monkey, and then who has been bitten by a scorpion, you see, stung by a scorpion, jumping from one branch of the tree to the other branch of the tree. How can you control it? If you control it, he will just howl at you and try to jump at you. You will be afraid of him. So if the stage of mind is like that, it means there is something wrong with the intellect. Buddhi nashat sarvanasham. Those whose intellect is perverted, they are nearing their destruction. What is the sign of destruction? When a person is destroyed, loses his business, loses his respect, loses his good relations, loses everything. This is his destruction in life. What happened to Clinton? You see, what he did. Impeachment process started, you see. Losing his job, losing his image, his presidency, his friends, so on and so forth, you see. Why? He says, my incorrect judgment. He himself admits it. Incorrect judgment, no control over the self. So the intellect is supposed to have control over the self. And this was a major, the foremost virtue in Baba. Self-control. If there is self-control, you don't require any police, you don't require military, navy, air force, you see, army, so many guns, bombs, weapons, endless money, you see, being spent upon weapons of mass killing. When there are so many poor people in the world, uneducated people in the world, living under the conditions of malnutrition, whereas on the other hand, what has happened? Why will destruction come? Some say 1999, some say 2000, some say a little later. Why will the destruction come? And what are the signs that this world is going to be destroyed? People have lost their intellect. They are scientists, philosophers, mathematicians. They are legal experts. That kind of intellect they have. But the intellect which gives self-control, that they don't have. They can't control themselves. For having sleep, they want sleeping pills. For forgetting about things and getting relaxed, they take lot of drinks, alcoholic drinks, or narcotic drugs, or they are chain smokers, so on and so forth. You see, the intellect is not working properly. Buddhi nashat pranashyati. When the intellect is destroyed, the man is destroyed. This is the sign. They have prepared atom and hydrogen weapons. And those people who were the commanders at that time, they said we need not drop them on Hiroshima and Nagasaki because Japan has already surrendered. Militarily, we don't require it to put these bombs, drop these bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. This will be violating the international law because many civilians will be destroyed in the process. Hospitals, children's home, widow houses, see, senior citizens' homes, innocent people, not military people. You will not be attacking on some military targets, but everything will be destroyed which is there in the city. Don't drop it. But they dropped it. When they dropped it, then other countries said, if they have it, they become more powerful. We don't have that power. So let us make it. You see, instead of controlling ourselves, they went out of control, prepared weapons. Since they prepared weapons, they said now they have also the weapons, let us have more powerful weapons. When they had powerful weapons, they said let us have more powerful weapons. So this was what was called the arms race. you see. Because the right judgment, the intellect that controls the self, was lost. This was lost. So they were marching step by step to destruction. So Baba says, if you follow Father, just one simple formula, one simple alchemy or medicine for all the diseases is follow Father, follow Baba's footsteps. And three I already told you: mind, speech, and action. This fourth one, the intellect, self-control. And there is always a thought in our mind: what we are doing is wrong. We are losing control over our tongue, over our sight, over our passions, over our desires. We are losing control. We are slipping into an forbidden territory. You all are experienced. Whenever a person does something wrong, there is a voice inside. In some people, the voice is very strong. In other people, the voice is very feeble, weak. But there is not a single one in whom there is no voice. We went to jails and asked certain culprits and certain people who were criminals, some waiting to be hanged. We asked them why they committed murder or rape or other heinous crimes. Was there no voice in their mind? They said there was. But it was a weak voice. It could not control the passions, the anger, the emotions, you see. Self-control means this. Self-control means the control over passions, the control over emotions, the control over negative thoughts. This is self-control. If there is no control over these three things, it is not self-control, you see. These sensual players, being drawn and attracted toward the players of the senses, having control over them. One who does not have control over them, let him understand that he is marching towards his own self-destruction. It is a death wish. In psychology, among other wishes, there is a death wish. Sometimes a person is so much disturbed, he thinks it is better to die than to live. So he wants to commit suicide. He says he should either drown himself or jump from a 7th floor or take some poison or shoot himself with his own gun or so forth. Death wish, which is utter madness. When a person's mind is derailed, totally fallen from the track, you see, utterly gone berserk, out of control. So we should have control over these sensual players, passions, emotions, and this. Then only this means self-control. So when a person has this and follows footsteps, what will happen? Baba says there are three categories, three divisions. Number 1, number 2, number 3. First division, second division, third division. You can say first grade, second grade, third grade. The first grade, he says there is number 1, number 2, number 3. Then there are number wise. In number 1 also, there are number wise. In number 2 category also, there are number wise. In number 3 category or third division, third grade, also there are number wise. You see. And he says the first division is of those people who is among 108. The 108 makes the first grade. Then 16,000 makes the second grade. Then 900,000, that makes the third grade. Now in every grade there are number wise. When Baba says each one according to number, each one number wise, then also division wise. Number wise is different in different divisions, You see. So Baba says, if you want to come in number one, you can't become number one. Number one is Brahma Baba. You see. But Brahma Baba is also among 108. Number wise and number, Brahma Baba 1. He is in first grade, and in first grade he has number 1. You see. Mama has number 2 or whosoever. You see. He has told about himself only. Others are in the race. God only knows the best. East or west, God only knows the best. So he knows. You see. So Brahma Baba grade 1 and number wise also number 1. Now, if you just want to come among 108, or you want to come among 16,000 or 900,000, this is for you to decide. So he said, those of you, and he says, in this year I want to complete those who are 108. That should give us a sign that the time has come. We are running out of time. This is the last chance. When there is a too late sign, otherwise it will be replaced by too late sign. You see. Instead of too late, it will be too late. T-O-O-2, not single. So that will be too late. So if we want to come among 108, what should we do? And he says, I must complete this in this year. Next year, 1900, just read the murli again. In year 1999, I must complete 16,000. The final list will be out. Not out that it will be announced, not that it will be computer typed and put on the notice board, but it will be clear with Baba. You see. He says it will be there. And he says, if I don't do that, just read his words. If I don't complete within this time, how can the things go? It means the new century has yet to wait. The new era has yet to dawn. It will take longer time. It is not possible because the time has come. There are certain targets to be achieved. So Baba says in Hindi, कैसे काम चलेगा? These are the words in Murli. If I don't complete 108 this year and 16,000 in 1999, कैसे काम चलेगा? How will things work? How will things go? You see. So he says, I am not going to wait. You understand? So this is the last chance. And do or die. Do or die. No excuse. If you really want to come in the number 1 grade or number 2 grade, number 1 grade, number 2 grade, this is the chance. You see. And he says, I am telling you beforehand. I have to complete it. And who are going to come in 108? Those who follow Baba's footsteps completely, who have no negative thinking, no wasteful thoughts. But have you ever thought over this? What are waste thoughts? What are negative thoughts? You see. Negative thoughts, of course, are clear. But what about the waste thoughts? You see. Good businessman. Grass is converted into paper, printing paper. You see. So on and so forth. The sugar cane, when it is peeled off, the thick skin over it, used in making certain articles of beauty. You see. Previously they were burnt. Now they are sold. They are costly material. In Mauritius, for example, they use it for making many things. Previously people didn't know. They just threw them away. Coconut, the hard shell outside, they just used to burn. But now many artistic things are made out of it. Very wonderful, you see. because man has that capacity, that understanding, how to utilize, make the best out of the waste. Now, what about these waste thoughts? We must not have waste thoughts. Make them into best thoughts. You see, unless and until you do these things, no negative thinking, only positive thinking, no wasteful thoughts, then you forget about your entry into the list of 108. Okay? Okay? Not okay. Nobody will say okay. They will say no, not okay. We will come in 108. Isn't it? So then do and die, do or die. Because you must accept this challenge, this invitation by God, those who want to come. See? Come. He says, I have been calling you, my children, come. My children, come. My lovely children, my sweet children, become angels. Come. I am waiting for you. So lovingly, so affectionately, so sweetly, He has been calling us. If still we don't listen, don't accept, what should we do? You see. Just think over it. There is no other way. This is the only way. So, the time left is short, and Baba says we must prepare ourselves for this. Then how to prepare for this? He says, give up this mera tera. This is mine, that is yours. He said, when I call you to Madhuban, foreigners or Indians, if I ask Indians to go outside, foreigners to come to India, or those who are in India, in a particular city, I ask them to come to Madhuban. I ask Madhuban Nivasis to go and take charge of centers in India, various parts of India. Then you should not say, Baba, give me 3 days, 4 days. I have to do this, to do that. Then I come. Baba said, when the call of the death comes, can anyone say, ask the death to wait for 3 days? They say death has no calendar. It comes anytime and it takes a person away. Its warrants are without any bail. No one can say I am bailed out. You see? No recommendation. That warrant is finally to be obeyed. So, I will give that kind of order. Are you ready? He said. To obey this, are you so much detached from the body, from the centers, from the towns, from your place of dwelling, from the things which you say belong to you, your belongings, as they say. When you belong to God, your things also belong to God. It is not that you belong to God and your things belong to you only. You see? Not that. Mama once gave the murli. She said, you are very clever. Really very clever. More clever than God. How are we more clever than God? More clever than Baba? Because she explained that Baba has told whatever he has. He has revealed his property. He has made a list of what he has. He says, I am ocean of knowledge, ocean of peace, ocean of bliss, ocean of love, so on and so forth. You see. And what he has, he says, have plenty, as much as you like. I am here to give you. You didn't know this, but I have come to give it to you. It is up to you how much you take it. But this is my property. This word property in English has 2 meanings. Property means belonging. That which belongs to you is your property. And property also means your qualities. See. So this is the property of Baba. His qualities as well as what belongs to him. So Mama said, God has told you whatever he has. Open his mind to you. He has not kept any secret from you. A good father is one who tells his children what he has, what inheritance he will be giving. You see. But you are very clever. You don't tell Baba what you have, you see. So you are saying, Baba, what belongs to you also belongs to us. What belongs to us, of course it belongs to us, you see. So isn't it cleverness on our part? जो हमारा है वो तो हमारा है, आपका भी हमारा है, which I said. Mine is mine. Baba, yours is also mine, you see. So Mama said, you are being very clever. This is not the way. You can't deceive God, you see. Can anybody deceive God? Anyone wiser than God? Anyone wiser than God? There is a joke. One day we were in the class. Baba in his Sakar form asked, Lakshmi Narayan are the greatest, the highest, the noblest. And they don't bow unto anyone. It is the worshippers who bow unto the deities. Does Narayana bow unto anyone? There was another student in the class, Baba's grandson. He was very humorous, always giving some jokes. He said, yes, there is one person, Narayana bows to him. Baba said, Narayana bows to somebody? You mean to say? He said, exactly. He bends his head unto someone. He said, Baba, who is? Baba asked him, who he is? Narayan does not bow unto anybody. But he said, no, Baba, no. He bends, he bows. Baba said, then who is he? He said, the barber. When Narayana has an haircut, you see, when Narayana has an haircut, naturally, you see, he has to bow his head. So what I was saying was that Baba said that he has to complete the list of 108 and 16,000. And of course 900,000 will not be a problem. They will easily be available. But these are first, it's a tough task because it is in this that one has to make very hard efforts to become Videha, have the bodiless stage, to become like angels, to withdraw completely from the body. It requires this kind of effort. So this is the last chance which is being given. And I think we should accept this chance. But how is it possible that we become liberated from negativity and wastage and also have all those things which Baba demands of us, which he suggests to us or directs us to have? I think for all this, what is essential, the basic thing, is vairagya. Vairagya, dispassion. We should have dispassion. No attraction, no pulse towards things worldly, things mundane, things material. Because all that glitters is not gold, they say. Things are not what they appear. If we just use our judgment, our deeper insight, our intellect correctly, we will come to the conclusion that things are not what they look as that they have. Number one, philosophically, everything is changing. It is transitory. It is ephemeral. It is momentary. It does not stop even for a second. Like an atomic clock, it is moving on and on. Constantly, things are changing. A person at the age of 80 appears to be very different than what that person was when that person was of 8 years. Between 8 and 80, the face is changed, the color the pigment is changed. There are many changes. He has gained weight or lost weight. He is less healthy or little less healthy. The old age has come. The signs of old age, infirmity appear. But this has not happened in a day. It has happened over 72 years. And in 72 years, this has been happening every moment. The changes have not been taken after a year, just as our calendar is changed after a year. No. These changes, transformation has been happening every single moment, split second. It has been changing. So why to get attracted towards things which are not what they seem, not what they appear? A thing which appears to you to be beautiful today, a person says that this person has a tumor in the body and many other ailments. There is virus and is full of germs, very unhealthy. You consider that person to be very beautiful. You were drawn toward that person. But when you discover this, you have a kind of an aversion to that person because you find that things are at the surface are different from deeper down, what they are down below the surface. So one thing is clear, things are changing, transitory, momentary. We should want things which are immortal, eternal. In golden age, things change at a very low pace. Therefore, people have long age. There is almost spring most of the time. It is not that very hot summers, very cold winters, you see. So many vagaries of nature and of weather. Changes are few and slowly and not affecting much person's health or other things, nature and so on. So if we just have this kind of a thought, then we are not drawn towards them. Secondly, the pleasure which we get from them, the taste from their appearance, or when we eat them, we relish them, we taste them. To our taste buds, it appears something very nice, very good, very palatable. Similarly, to our other sense organs. Therefore, we feel attracted toward them. And philosophically, these pleasures do not come from those material things. They come from your attitudes. The same thing, they say one man's meat is another man's poison. Someone thinks it is meat, very good to eat. Another one says, no, they kill the animals, it is somebody's flesh. Why to shed someone's blood? See, it is not fit for human consumption. So on and so forth. He hates meat, flesh. So if the pleasure, if the happiness came from these things, the more we have, the merrier we should be. If you like some particular kind of dish, particular vegetable, then if we give you more and more and more and more, you should feel happy in proportion to that. But after some time, you feel satisfied, more than satisfied. You don't want any more. I ask you why? Why don't you have, or you don't relish? You don't like? Is it not tasteful? He said it is tasty, but I have my belly full. I don't want any more. Same kind of dish which someone likes, if you give him daily, for months, for years together, he will get sick about it. He will say, don't bring that thing to me anymore. I feel like vomiting. I feel nauseating. So what does it mean? That the pleasure does not come from the thing. It is how you have been believing, thinking, you see. They give the example of a dog. A dog has a bone in his mouth. He picks up somebody's bone and begins to chew it or just revolve it into his mouth. So he feels very nice, something coming from the bone. So when it drops from his mouth, he again picks it up and puts again into the mouth. Though there are prickly points in the bone, it is not all smooth. They injure his jaws, hurt him in his mouth, and the jaws begin to bleed, you see. But he still has that bone. What is the joy which he is getting? Not from the bone, but from the blood which is coming from his gums. They have performed experiments over it, tested it, and they have come to the conclusion that the dog feels happy not because there is something coming out from that bone, but coming out from his own gums in the form of his own blood, causing him injury, you see. But still likes it, and when it drops, he brings it again to his mouth. He relishes. So whatever pleasures, joy, pleasantness, happiness, whatever you may like to call it, we get from material things are not from the material things. It is that over a period of time you have developed certain tastes for certain things, developed some habits, some kind of attitudes. So they are reflected and you feel happy with them. That is not the real happiness. Even if things are making us happy, they are good. Even if they are not changing, okay, forget about their momentary nature and forget that the things are giving us pleasure. Baba says, now we are proceeding towards destruction. When a person is on the deathbed, almost dying, gasping for the breath, being given life sustenance system, an oxygen cylinder, glucose, blood transfusion, so on and so forth. We know any moment he may die, you see. What is the frame of our mind? What do we think at that time? Pity, mercy, affection, in a different sense. Attitude of service, attitude of help toward that person. Not that consumer attitude, you see. Consuming the blood or flesh or whatever. So when we see that destruction is coming, we are being drawn towards that destruction, and that time is coming when everything will be over. See, when things will be in the form of an ashes, you see. These multi-storied buildings, 120 floors or 140, 50 floors, all beautiful things, you see, which look beautiful, no more. They'll be destroyed. So even then, should we be attached to them? We should be drawn towards them. Something which is in its stage of deterioration, degradation. There is a process of decay in that thing. These things are not as they were in golden age. The milk, the fruits, the vegetables, the flowers, the air, the water, they are not healthy. They are not as they were in golden age. They are all in their stage of decay. There is a lot of radiation, lot of pollution. Everything is polluted, you see. Even then, have we gone mad that we feel attracted towards them in whatever way we do? You see. We have lost senses. Aren't we wise enough to still, now there is time to withdraw from them, you see, to understand what they will be causing. Whatever we are taking, it is leading us to ill health, to our deterioration. Even our very body is in the stage of decay. It is not golden aged body, iron aged body, for certain reasons, which Baba has explained to us. So also with the beings, the human beings in particular. Very good, very nice, very intelligent, highly educated, very logical, you see, scientific in their thought, we find them. But mind is polluted, their behavior is corrupt, their thoughts are spoiled. They may be friendly, you can't depend upon their loyalty, their faithfulness. Today they are your friends, tomorrow they may not be anymore. There is selfishness in everyone. They want something from you. They say there are many kinds of friends. Fair weather friends, one kind of friends. Cupboard friends, those who come to you thinking that you will give them a cup of tea, some biscuits, some chocolates. Cup and bold. Cupboard is cupboard. You see, in the almirah where cups are kept, where things for making tea are kept, it is cupboard. You see, they are cupboard friends. Their attention is on what you are going to give them to eat. You see, many kinds of friends. So, human beings to whom you feel attracted, as I was saying, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, my sister-in-law, but where is the law? All are human beings. But where is humanity? We have all become worse than beasts. Human beings killing other human beings on mass scale, polluting the environment in which they are living, preparing for their own destruction. You see, are they human beings? What are they doing? The world has given them so much and they are spoiling. No river in which people can take bath. Everything is spoiled. In many countries, because of the atomic waste that was buried miles and miles away from the cities in a very cautious way, taking into account all the precautions they must observe, the fruit which is coming out, the vegetables which are coming out, they have atomic radiation. They are now showing the results. Even the animals, the fodder they take is spoiled. Everything we have spoiled. Are we human beings? So, to feel attracted toward these things is wrong. Therefore, we should have limitless dispassion, detachment. We have to use them, make best out of them, and try to change them, transform them. That is a different thing. When a person is sick, you try to give the medicine, to do your service, to help that person to regain health. That is a different attitude. But to be hugging, kissing, embracing, and doing so many things which may cause you infection, disturb that person also, you see. That kind of nonsense is not rationality, it is not wisdom. Help that person. Otherwise, doctors will not remain doctors. If they begin to do that, nor will the nurses be able to do their job if they do these kinds of things. Love them, care for them, give them care, and so on, sustenance, but don't be attached to them. So this is limitless dispassion, behad ka vairagya. Unless until we have this kind of frame of mind, we will not be able to have all what has been said. Because Sakar Baba was a businessman, making lot of money. He was fond of becoming more and more rich, having more and more bank balances and things of gold and jewelry. See, his wife asked him to finish that business because we have lot of money, what will we do? She suggested that we go to a pilgrimage, have a house there, and now do tapasya. He said, not for now, after some time. But when he saw destruction, then he had that dispassion, vairagya. His attachment was gone towards the money, towards his buildings, towards whatever he had, you see. And that was the basis for his spiritual progress. So if we want to follow footsteps of Baba, the first footstep is this, that he saw destruction and he has given his experiences. That is going to come. And in the face of that, we should now forget about all these things and be prepared to rise above, to get above all these kinds of man-made limitations and these attractions. So then only we can come in 108. Okay? This is the gist, the essence of the Avyakt Vani and my little churning on this, which I wanted to share with you. Thank you so much. Om Shanti.